Oh, hello, friendo. It's T, and there are two things I need to talk to you about today. The first is the world's smallest haul. Now, I love watching haul videos, but I've never done one, and this isn't really a haul video. This is more to talk about the new, just hitting store shelves today, Gwen Stefani Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. Now, I'd heard about this palette a few weeks ago, and a few bloggers had been sent it early and have already done videos on it, but none of them, how shall I put this, have melanin skins. All of the people I've seen looking at this palette and swatching it and doing preliminary reviews seem to be of a complexion fairly similar to Gwen Stefani, very, very fair. And I wanted to see if this is brown girl friendly, because from what I've seen, and here you can kind of see the colors on the back of the box, we'll get into this more later, but you can see it's a fairly neutral palette except for this bottom row here. I mean, this is neutral, but these four are a little bit more, you know, off the beaten path, I guess you can say. And I pretty much only wear neutrals. When I was younger and I would look at eyeshadow palettes, I would sort of look at them like a box of crayons. Like, the more different colors, the more interested I was in it. But now that I'm older and actually wearing eyeshadow and know what kind of looks I like on my face, cool tone neutrals all day, every day. This palette looks like it leans a little more warm, and I did swatch it in store, but we're gonna play with it a little bit. I'm gonna do some swatches on my brown skin so we can see if this is indeed brown girl friendly, which of course it doesn't have to be, but I think it will be. A lot of people were supposing that it's only gonna be good for people with fair skin, and I just don't think that's true. So we're gonna talk about that. Tomorrow, not today, because I've already done makeup for today because I just got in from work. I'm probably going to try to do a look with this so we can actually see how they perform rather than just swatch. But before I get into the swatches, I want to talk about Fitmas. I did this last year, or at least I announced it here, and then mostly covered it on my blog and then kind of fell off halfway through. But I did 12 days of Fitmas where I was talking about doing workouts every day for 12 days leading up to Christmas to make sure that I didn't overindulge in the holiday season. I kept in line with a healthy lifestyle of like eating pretty clean and keeping up with my workouts. I think I'm going to do it again this year. However, today is December 1st. I think I'm going to start with, I'm not going to work out every day up until Christmas starting today, but I'm definitely going to do a fitness challenge of sorts. And I wanted to see if you guys would be interested in coming along with me for that. I can do updates on my blog, I can do videos here, I can do a combination of the two. And I think toward the second half of it, I'll do the 12 days of Fitmas as I did last year, leading up to not necessarily Christmas Day, but probably December 21st, which is the day before I'm leaving for my Christmas vacation to New Orleans. So that's a mouthful. You guys are really, really unbelievably supportive and complimentary of how my body's doing on the lookbook I did, you know, my first and only lookbook. I was extremely nervous about putting that video up. I was doing it because people had sort of asked me to do fashion videos, and I was just like, all right, let's try this out. And I was nervous. I almost didn't put it up at all, and then I just was like, well, whatever. And then after I put it up, I discovered that I have the best subscribers in the world, literally out of anyone. Maybe it's because there's so few of us, but I just feel like I have really dope-ass subscribers. So thank you guys for being so supportive and complimentary. My body is still very much a work in progress. I can talk about my weight loss a little bit more in another video. In fact, I'm planning to do that because I told you guys last year about me losing 25 pounds, I think it was at that time. Ultimately, I ended up losing about 30, and I wanted to let you know where I have been since the end of that year, which was 2014, and what's been going on in this year, 2015. So I'll tie that in more with me doing my Fitmas videos. Anyway, on to the main event, which is this extremely reflective box of eyeshadows. So the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani eyeshadow palette. This has 15 eyeshadows in it. And let's dig in. I purchased mine from Ulta because here's just a shopping tip. You know, whenever you're buying higher end cosmetics or high end cosmetics, if you're looking at a brand that's available at Ulta and at Sephora, always buy it from Ulta because their rewards program is far and away better than Sephora's. At Sephora, you can have 8,000 points or something ridiculous, and all that's good for is more deluxe samples of makeup. Whereas at Ulta, if you have points, they actually count for money off future purchases. So I think for as few as 100 points, which would be $100 spent unless you're in their second tier. They're platinum members. They earn points a little bit faster. But you can basically actually get money back as you continue to accumulate points. So it just makes a lot more sense to me to actually spend my money in the place where I'm getting rewarded with actual money off future purchases rather than a fucking mini eyeshadow. Rant over. Moving on to the palette. So this is the packaging. You've probably seen this already. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched one of my videos before. Perhaps you just discovered me because you were searching for the Gwen Stefani palette, but this is what it looks like on the outside. And I can already see it's attracting tons of fingerprints on the outside here, but I don't really care about that too much. I mean, it's slightly annoying, but what really matters is what's on the inside. So you can kind of see the layout here. It's kind of a boring looking palette possibly to a lot of people, but this is right up my alley. And I wasn't even sure that it was going to be up my alley based on the pictures, but the more videos I watch and then after seeing it in person, I was really glad that I went out and got it today. And Tara Babies got it early. She purchased it. She didn't get it sent to her, but she purchased it from someone on Instagram or something. And she actually made a good point where if you actually cover this blue shadow here, it looks a lot more neutral, which is the kind of eyeshadow palette and eyeshadows that I love. Now, depending on how nerdy you are about makeup, you may already know that they're also coming out with Gwen Stefani lipsticks through Urban Decay, but those aren't coming out until the spring. But the cool thing was, inside of the box was a little sample card with 4 of the lipstick shades. I think that there are going to be more than 4, but yeah, it actually looks like there's going to be a total of 8. On the back of the card here, but there are 8 shades that I can see here, assuming I can still do maths. On the card here, there are 4 shades. Rocksteady, which is a cream, 714, which is a mega matte, Ex-Girlfriend, which is a sheer, and then Firebird, which is a cream. So those are 4 of the 8 shades, I believe, that will be coming out. And I'm looking a little bit closer here. It looks like 2 of the 8 shades of the Gwen Stefani range will be exclusive to UrbanDecay.com and their Urban Decay stores, so you won't be able to get those from Ulta or Sephora or wherever. Still very cool to have these lipstick samples. This will actually be enough to cover my real estate, which is, you know, considerable. I've got some fairly large lips, so yeah, looking forward to trying these out too. So I'm going to zoom in and we're just going to swatch these and we can see how this looks on brown skin. And I just noticed this was completely unintentional, but I'm wearing the perfect shirt for this video. I'm wearing my brown skin lady shirt from Bon Bon V. Let's get it. So there's a closer look at the palette for you guys, and let's get to swatching on some brown skins. And by the way, I'm keeping this little plastic thing on here just to keep it not too reflective since I have this big ring light here, but in the corner of the mirror it says Magic's in the Makeup, which is kind of cute if you're into things that are cute. I am not. All right, so we're gonna start off with this first row and then we're gonna go left to right. First 3 are gonna be Blonde, Baby, and Pop. Pop feels like it has a little bit of a grit to it. That's just on my moisturized arm. You know, I've got like my normal lotion on or whatever, but no primer or anything. Next up, I'm gonna do Bathwater, Anaheim, and Harajuku. Now, Anaheim is a matte, and I will say it feels extremely smooth. Urban Decay isn't exactly known for their mattes, but Anaheim felt super smooth. So, Bathwater, Anaheim, which just kind of blends into my skin tone, you can't really see it, Harajuku. The next 3 we're doing are Skimp, super smooth, Stark, also very smooth, and Danger. Bit of grit on that one. It's not very smooth. I haven't been showing these to you guys on my fingertips before applying them to my arm, but you can see the pigmentation's pretty solid. So that's Skimp there. Stark, another one that just sort of blends into my skin. It's quite light. And Danger. So with the shades, in particular, Stark and Anaheim, those ones really aren't showing up too much on my skin. I think if you're about my complexion, Anaheim would probably be a pretty good shade for the crease to just blend things out and soften any harsh edges. So now we're on to Steady, Zone, and 1987. That's Steady, Zone, 1987. 1987 is a for real in your face bright gold. I think it would be really nice for an inner tear duct highlight, or if you're doing like a Christmas look or something like that and you just want a very, very glittery lid. That would be solid. Zone here is another one that's very close to my skin tone. So I think that would be another really nice all over lid shade if you're just doing a simple look and you want to focus on maybe like a winged liner kind of thing. I would do something like this all over the lid with a winged eye, or you could also use it as a crease shade or a blending out shade. And then the last row is Punk, Serious, and Blackout. I believe Blackout is a pre-existing shade. And just to give you an idea of how they look on the fingertips before I put them on my arm, there they are. So this is Punk, Serious. That one didn't swatch super awesome, but I'm also in a weird spot of my arm. And the last one, Blackout. The last two swatch kind of weird, I think more because of where I am on my arm. I'm in a very lined area. So what I'll do is I'll re-swatch Serious and Blackout on another part of my arm where it's a bit smoother. Once again, we're gonna re-swatch Serious, which is pretty smooth, and then Blackout, which is even smoother. Blackout really feels great. And I'm gonna swatch them right here. Serious and Blackout. I think these two would make a really dope smoky eye if you're into that kind of thing. So there are all 15 shades swatched on brown skin, and you can see the two that I mentioned that sort of disappeared completely, which were Anaheim and Stark. Those basically just disappeared into my skin. All right, you guys, so there you have it. Those were all the shades in here on brown skin. But overall, I think that if you were interested in this palette and you're a woman with dark skin, I don't think that it's a waste of time if you wanted to get it. It is 58 bucks, so it's not a cheap one. It's more expensive than the Naked palettes, for example. This palette is more expensive at 58, but it is limited edition. They are hyping it up and saying this will sell out. You know, Urban Decay saying that, Sephora saying that, everyone's saying that. But when I went into Ulta to buy it, there was no frenzy at all. I went in there like, where is it? And then I realized that they had 3 separate displays with it and all of them were stocked. I mean, I had no problems at all buying it, but then again, today is the first day that it hit shelves, so who knows, maybe it will sell out. That's why I wanted to get this video up today so that if you're interested, you can actually make a decision. That's it. I just wanted to let you guys know about those 2 things. I wanted to let you know how this palette looks on brown skin, and I wanted to tell you guys that I'm gonna be resuming my 12 days of Fitmas because I'm just corny like that. But this year it's gonna be kind of bigger and it's going to be more of a Fitmas month rather than just 12 days. Yeah. That's it. Let me know if you guys do want me to film a look with this, because I can probably do that tomorrow or the day after. So thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support again, and I love y'all. Bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.